So you all remember that time when I said I would not buy new books in 2025? Well, the first new book in my library is The Unworthy by Augustina Bazterrica. This work of literary horror is about a woman cloistered in a secretive, violent religious order. From her cell in a mysterious convent, the woman writes her life story as a lower member of the sacred sisterhood, deemed an unworthy. Outside, the world is plagued by catastrophe, while inside the convent, the narrator's fate may be far worse. The Unworthy explores themes of the dangers of religious extremism, climate crisis, and the exploitation of women, all within a dystopian society where religious ideology is used to control and manipulate. Now, I loved Tender is the Flesh by this author, and this seems pretty similar to it. So I'm very excited to add this to my collection and hopefully read The Unworthy very soon. Next is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. The Road is about a father and his young son as they journey through a bleak, post-apocalyptic world. The story centers around themes of survival, love, and the enduring bond between father and son in the face of complete destruction. I've seen this one on BookTube for a long time, and this is my very first Cormac McCarthy that I've added to my library. So I do hope to read The Road at some point this year. Now this next one I totally bought on a whim, but it is The Vegetarian by Han Kang. The Vegetarian is a story about a woman in South Korea who suddenly makes the decision to give up meat, leading to unsettling consequences for both herself and the people around her. This novel explores themes of bodily autonomy, societal expectations, and the psychological impact of her decision, while witnessing the unraveling of her life and relationships. I've heard of this title before, and it sounds a lot like Tender is the Flesh. So when I saw this one on display in Barnes & Noble, I just had to snatch it up. Now, Barnes & Noble got me for this next one. I was at the checkout counter, and I was almost done, but right next to the checkout, they had She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. An ICU nurse accidentally uncovers a patient's frightening past in this chilling thriller. While on duty at the hospital, a patient named Caitlin arrives in a coma with a traumatic brain injury, having jumped from a bridge and plunging over 20 feet into the train tracks below. But when a witness comes forward with shocking details about the fall, it calls everything they know into question. Was Caitlin pushed? And if so, by whom and why? She's Not Sorry explores themes of trauma, human nature, and the lengths people will go to protect their loved ones. I've read several Mary Kubica novels, and she writes a really good thriller. I also love the sprayed edges on this one, so Barnes & Noble totally got me just as I was checking out on this one. I am so excited to have a copy of this next book, and it is The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. The Silent Companions is a gothic novel set in an old, crumbling estate. We follow a young widow who moves into her late husband's family home, where she discovers eerie wooden figures known as the Silent Companions. As strange occurrences unfold, the woman becomes increasingly paranoid, unsure of what is real and what may be supernatural. This novel explores themes of isolation, madness, and the haunting power of the past. You know, I love a good gothic horror story, and this one has been said to be one of the best. And to wrap up this book haul, I have a nonfiction pick. It is The Butchering Art by Lindsay Fitzharris. The Butchering Art is a historical nonfiction book that explores the life and groundbreaking work of Dr. Joseph Lister, a pioneering surgeon in the 19th century. Leicester's advocacy for antiseptic techniques revolutionized surgery and greatly reduced infections, changing the course of medical history forever. This book delves into the brutal conditions of surgery during that era and the transformative impact of Leicester's discoveries on modern medicine. Any nonfiction about Victorian medical practices is sure to be grisly, but fascinating nonetheless. Now, these are just some of the new horror books that I bought recently. But if you want to know about my best horror book recommendations, click this video. The Vegetarian Hair.